A CIC Film Studio production.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Isaiah Edwards. This is
Lucas Mason.
and today our guest is
Tevyn Gill.
would you like to tell the audience a little bit about yourself?
I guess sure. I went to St. Mary's College for 7 years. Also played for the integral team. Then went on to go to school at a university at University of West Indies, Gill. Acquired a bachelor's degree in psychology there. Then also went on to do a tour guiding certificate at Costat.
So, what do you do, let's say, what does your degrees or stuff you did for tertiary education help you for career-wise?
So I mean, career-wise, it's very hard for me to kind of give an example of what I do or what my career is, because I've kind of done so many different things. From, like I say, tour guiding to marketing, also a little bit of design. I also do have a bit of an entrepreneur streak in me, in the fact that I have 3 of my own businesses that I run as well. So, there's a little bit of everything: media, writing, advertising, kind of a lot of different things. Event management. So, despite my degrees or what I studied, whether it be through school or when I say a secondary school or tertiary, I kind of never ended up doing any of those things because I studied sciences in Saints as well. At the time, when they're doing that in secondary school, they're thinking, okay, well, I pick sciences, so you're gonna be an engineer or a doctor, or some kind of thing like that. And that's very far from the case most times. Like, a lot of guys did go on to do engineering and that kind of thing. But most times, whatever you pick in secondary school is not actually going to be the things that you do with your career. You know what I mean? So, like, I'm not using no kind of pure maths or further maths in my career right now, but them times you're thinking is important things to study, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can imagine that. Because I do sciences too now, I struggle seeing a way or
Well, exactly. What is your plan?
Yeah, planning, and that's why I hope in university have my give my extra time and have my sort of.
No, but even you at this level, like, what is your goal studying sciences? Like, what is your path that you see for yourself?
Pharmacy, probably pharmacy.
See,
Because I like
some kind of med, some kind of.
yeah.
And though I'm not discredited, like, I have a lot of friends that I went to school with in CIC that are now pharmacologists, doctors, lawyers, engineers. A friend working for Apple. Next one, he's a chief resident at a hospital in the States. So they can have plenty guys who they knew what they wanted to do from that age and they stuck with it. One of them in Miss Lala Bio class, he knew from then in Form 5 he wanted to do med, and he's a doctor now. You know what I'm saying? But I say there's not always the same kind of cookie cutter thing for everybody.
So, cost tax, UE, tertiary education or institutes in general, right? In your opinion, did you get any sort of advantage career-wise from attending those places, and do you think it's generally beneficial?
Yes. So I would recommend tertiary education simply for the fact that it is the words are, I don't have to put it in a way that not sounding. Yeah, no, it is how I view tertiary education is that it does give you a certain stamp of, I guess, validation in society. Again, not all the time does it actually reflect where your career is going to go. I studied psychology. I'm not doing anything in psychology at the moment, although you would say marketing and psychology can be kind of closely related because marketers understand the psychology of consumers.
Yeah.
But at the same time, just having that piece of paper, that degree, gives you a certain level of validation in society amongst other people, your peers, colleagues, other people who recruiting for jobs. And most of the time, even with my psychology degree, I got into so many different lanes or types of work, and I did not necessarily qualify for, well, like in terms of people, what they were looking for. So it might be I applied for something in marketing with a psychology degree, but I get through. But that was mainly because of my experience or work experience more so than my degree. But the fact that I have a degree kind of is a assurance of, okay, he's at a certain level, or he have a certain level of intelligence, basically. That's actually all I see a degree doing in today's society. It's just kind of show people, alright, this person, he have a certain level of understanding. You know what I mean? As opposed to somebody just come straight out of school and they have that work experience, or they might do something like vocational and they have experience in that lane, but it doesn't really assure like employers that, alright, even if I take him out of this lane, can he function, at a certain level? So to me, that's what tertiary education is like. It's like a blue tick or verification of this person is somebody that could work in that work and be kind of lifestyle.
And well, you would say that it helped you get access to areas quicker.
So that's what is access. It's usually granted access to certain places that you might really get it out of it.
Right, so you attended fast stats after you went to UAE or before? After, so what you say was beneficial to go there rather than to go back to UAE for your training in Tobago and like?
Well, for me in that aspect, because it was a direct benefit, because as soon as I got that certificate, I could qualify to work in certain areas. So for me, it was literally like, with this, once I have this, I can do this. So the benefit was immediate. As a matter of fact, even I remember the day I graduated and got the certificate, the following weekend I had tours that literally paid for the entire course. You understand? So the money, I made back the money immediately. You know what I mean? But aside from that, it also opened doors for me to be able to work with cruise ships and other tour operators that gave me a wealth experience that I would not have been able to access without that certificate. That certificate in particular, actually. So I don't think you was really offering that kind of thing at the time. So big up a start for that, because as a result of that, I can now say I have a lot of experience with cruise ship operators, and that kind of led to my part now, which is going to work on a cruise ship.
So you'd say you have a lot of foreign experience. Like you say, what experiences and what countries have you visited? So,
well, I mean, for work, the only country I really visited to work is Senegal. But working with the cruise ships here, a lot of international guests come through the period of November to like April. So that entire season is known as cruise ship season. So you work with multiple ships a week, multiple groups of people, like over those couple of months. So those are people that come from all over the world, like Italy, Sweden, Spain, France, Canada, the States, UK. So you're getting to interact with a lot of different people on a regular basis, and also deal with a lot of different scenarios or incidents or occasions. So it just kind of open up your perspective a little bit.
Okay. We'll just take a quick break for a minute.
No matter who you are, where you are, or where you're going, Deloitte is there, and there, and even there. We are dedicated to helping people and organizations solve problems, to know faster, to grow farther, to to go from red to black to green, creating impact where it matters most.
All right, we're back. So the next thing I want to talk about, the skills you acquire in university. How would you say they differ from skills you acquire solely from going into the workforce, like right out of secondary school?
The skills you acquire in university. You know, no, I mean, so first of all, they're different because in university is mainly theory. You know what I mean? Like, university is a lot of theory, as opposed to going straight into the work where, like, you're getting a lot of hands-on, like, practical practice. So I think that's the main difference between the two. And I mean, both have value. But I think the main thing, and this might sound, I don't know if this is going to answer the question correctly, but I think the main thing, like, that university allows you as well is, especially if you do it before going straight into the working world, you get a little time to mature. That's the first thing. Networking, you get a chance to be able to do that. And then you also just kind of get a chance to come into your own in the sense of figure out what you want to do, because a lot of people that go into university, you know, thinking they're going to do one thing, sometimes they switch, you know, sometimes they discover something else out there that, you know, sparks their interest a bit more.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think that's a period that going into university allows you, as opposed to going straight into the working force or working world. But at the same time, I am a big believer in hands-on learning. So that is the major value, I think, of going straight into the work world. Like, you do get to learn a lot of stuff from an earlier point or earlier age. That can also carry on through your career.
Our period I want to ask, because from my own experience, I know a couple of people who go in university, right? And I feel the people who go to university and go out in the working world, they have a lot more team building. They good with cooperation, as opposed to people I know who went straight into working. For example, my brother and my cousin, they went straight to work after school, and they had difficulties with their colleagues. Do you think that's?
I mean, just from my personal experience, UE does have you doing so much group projects throughout them years that it's definitely something you're going to have to get accustomed to at the very least, if not great at. But I would definitely see the two things that I got from that time was definitely being able to work in groups, especially groups of people that, like groups of random people that you're not picking your own groups. You understand? So you have to make it work. Yeah. It could be people from all walks of life, different ethnicities, different backgrounds. Sometimes, depending on what university you go into, different language barriers. But you have to overcome all of that to produce this unified outcome. And aside from that, being able to speak publicly, like presentation skills and public speaking, that's something that we had to work on regularly, because a lot of those same group projects is you had to take turns presenting your part. You know what I mean? So that was also a big help for me in combating public speaking, because I wasn't any big public speaking kind of person.
Would be difficult.
Well, lots of practice. You know what I mean? Starting from university days where you had to go up in front of class again of people that you might not know everyone, but you had to sound a certain way and present your case and whatever the case is. And sometimes, depending on the lecturer you had, they marking you more on your presentation skills than the actual content of what you're presenting. And you could be presenting absolute nonsense, but you do it with such confidence and such, conviction that them gain you full marks. And even when I was in Costa, that was the next thing I learned, because part of our degree or the certificate was a lot of practical exercises of having to do that same kind of public speaking thing. And our lecturer obviously she wanted her to know the information, but she would always say it's always about how you present whatever information, because you could again present wrong information, but present it in such a way that people gonna believe you anyway, because you have them eating out the palm of your hand. And so she was always more, I wouldn't say more concerned, because she definitely wanted to know the correct information. But you know, a big concern for her was always your style of presentation and how you do that, how you go about actually presenting information and being able to speak properly in front of large audiences. So that was definitely something you could take away from university, I would say.
I feel like students will have a problem presenting wrong information.
That's a big Trini trait for sure.
Right, so like, okay, after St. Mary's, you went straight to UE or you went...
I did not.
You took a gap year?
Yeah, I took a gap year to play football and to try to get a scholarship, because back in those days, that was kind of the blueprint. You know what I mean? You play intercall, the next step is you try and get a scholarship, you go to the States, you try and make it from there. And so that was a lot, that was the like my heavy focus at that point in time in life. I was trying to get a scholarship to go out to the States and hopefully become a professional footballer one day. And life just didn't deliver, like it just didn't deal the cards that way. And that's how I ended up in cable, actually. So after that gap year, still didn't get through the scholarship that I was looking for, went to cable, and was still chasing that scholarship, like still sending emails out to schools trying to transfer. And then I just kind of realized like I could make this experience what I wanted. So stuck with cable and
Kind of
gotta make the most.
experience, because right now I train, well, not training, but I go through UTT screening for football, and I don't think I'm getting this yet. I don't think because I only now started back training and started back playing football because I'm still not. But probably next year I'll see if I can get through, because the program is you can do the football, the screening, and if they think if the coach accepts you and say they can do well, you basically practically get into the UTT football.
yeah, so you're getting on scholarship, they put you up in a... So I was supposed to do that as well. In part of the whole gap year, like that was one of the options I explored in terms of going to UTT. And the same thing, did the whole screening. Was getting offered us a spot in like down south, I think. They put up in an apartment down south, and they shuttle you, depending on what you study, what you choose to study, they shuttle you to your campus or whatever the case is. But you're basically in UTT for free.
Yeah.
But obviously playing for the school.
I mean,
And
football is for free.
yeah, but at the same time, I've seen that program grow from then to now so much, and a lot of really good footballers have come through that program as well, and I've been able to get a degree playing the sport they love, like you're saying over.
Yeah.
So that's always a good thing, and I think that was the focus as well, like with the whole go away thing, like, you know, you're getting a degree for free, but you're also getting to play at a very high level, because obviously D1, D2 schools, that was a dream. You know what I'm saying? That's like the next level before
Professional.
you know what I mean? At least for us, because we don't have the infrastructure here that they have up there for their university leagues. I remember actually with CIC back in 2008, probably that could have been, we went out, the intercall team went on a camp in Tampa, and we got to stay on campus at USF and got to actually walk around the campus, like tour the campus, and just seeing the student athlete like facilities alone was enough to make you want to come to school. Like just how they were treated, like it was literally like they were professional athletes. You know what I mean? Like they had their own zone, but their own library, their own like tech area, their own med bay, gym, a place with 3 pools, a hot pool, a cold pool, and a pool with a freaking, oh, I can't say freaking what, with a treadmill in it. But
A pool with a treadmill in it.
yeah, for recovery, you know. But
I didn't have
that was saying, like the facilities alone, like everybody eye open big, because you're not seeing anything like this in Trinidad.
Yeah.
Even at the highest level in Trinidad, you're not seeing this. So the dream for us was, like go try and get to a D1 school, play under them conditions where you're sure to improve over the years. And then, the next thing is to try and make it pro. But, there's a very slim chance, even if you do get to that level, there's still a slim chance. But, you have to reach to see.
All right, so we'll take a short break and be back for our final segment.
Are you in secondary school and not interested in doing Form 6? Did you know that at COSTAT, you can build your future skills and do your associates after Form 5? You can even begin the application process before you get your CSEC results. And not just 1 or 2 programs. Choose from over 80 available programs such as information technology, psychology, general nursing, graphic design, and many more. Visit our website to see the available programs for this semester. Want an alternative to Form 6? Maximize your time. Jump right into your new college life at COSTAT.
All right, so for the final segment, we're going to ask our classic final segment question. If you could give your younger self some advice to not make the same mistakes and all that, what would that advice be?
I don't have a problem making the same mistakes. What I would say is make some more. So try more things, try different things, and try them earlier than try them this time around. You know what I mean? Like do everything you feel, everything you're interested in. Let's try it at least once and see, and go from there.
Yeah, I understand that because I kind of upset that I didn't continue football with the school after because it's my last year and I only now stand back and train with the team. So I wish I had more memories and more time with the team and probably with more clubs. I could have joined more clubs with the school, kind of thing like that. And I regret it now. So for my final year, I plan on doing as much as I can because you only now realize how little time you have left and thing.
Facts. Yeah. I still remember the last game I played in Intercol and it's really like hit you like way, but I'm not gonna be able to do this ever again in life. But I think the only things you really regret is the things you didn't do. You know what I mean? So I didn't really have any regrets. So, although it was a sad day when my last game, I didn't really have any regrets because it's like I still play. I still do what I could do. And I mean, I had a nice run. We win the league in my last year at CIC and things. So we had a nice run. I have those same moments you're talking about. Like I have some of those or enough of those to be like, that was a time in life and I good at that. But like I say, I really wish I tried to play maybe with more clubs or just try to do more in general.
So is there like anything like tertiary education wise you wish you did differently?
At one point I was considering changing to law, but I also kind of glad I didn't. But I could have seen myself going down that path at a point. The thing I regret from tertiary education is that I didn't play in our UE games, boy. Yeah, that was my one regret. Why? Other than that, just had different things going on at that point in time.
Oh.
I'm up, like injury being one of them too, and But I don't really think I have any regrets from tertiary education. Even like not getting to go abroad to like the States or something like that. I don't really regret that either because everything worked out. You know what I mean? It didn't work out that way, but everything worked out in its own way. So I don't really have any regrets.
I feel like a lot of students and a lot of younger people just afraid of growing up and getting older and having a lot of things to deal with. And how would you think you coped with, having to deal with a lot more on your plate?
Well, the funny thing is, even if you don't want to grow up, you're going to grow up anyway in a way. Yeah. So you might as well, take it on the chin or take it by the horns, I should say, and try and do it your way. Well, I could say to that, boy. Yeah, I guess just that, like, you have to grow up at the end of the day. And I think for me, how I manage it is just one day at a time, where like understanding acceptance, understanding like this is what
Real life.
this is what life is, this is the work that has to be done, and just putting one foot in front of the other and doing it, whether it be something like a goal that you want to achieve, or something that might be, you know, a means to end, something that you have to do in order to get to somewhere. Like how some people just watch tertiary education, and some people watch it as like, I had to go through all these years just to get a degree. But I life, you know what I mean? Like if you want to advance yourself, if you want to forward yourself, you have to do the things sometimes that you might like. You know what I'm saying? So it's just putting in the work, being able to focus on what it is you want for yourself. Because I would always say, don't wait for like people to tell you who you are or what you are, or to create a life for you. You have to go there and create the life you want for yourself. You know what I mean? Otherwise, you'll just get caught up in doing what mommy say or what daddy want, or what your brethren and them doing. Like, it's easy to get caught in those rabbit holes, but the better thing to do is to do what you want to do what you feel to do. And like I say, start that early, so that after a couple of years, you have an idea of, all right, well, I kind of like this, but I like this more than I like that. And I kind of naturally good at this, and this kind of related to that, so I can kind of mix the two. That's how life does go, boy. Like, experiences bring wisdom. So don't be afraid to grow up. Just gather the experiences in the growing up, and hopefully go turn into wisdom. Some of these grays here, you know, you earn it.
So, quickly here, right? Do you think that you would have been better served if you developed some of the skills you use now in a professional setting earlier, as compared to developing them at UE or at COSTAT when you did? Like, do you think you would have developed faster in a professional setting, or do you think the academic setting was more beneficial than what the professional setting would offer?
No, I definitely think if I had learned some of the stuff, some of the corporate skills a lot earlier, I would have been able to advance a lot faster. Because I would say, coming out of university, I didn't even go straight into corporate. I started working with a magazine, which was a more lax or modern or contemporary type of job, you know.
Yeah.
And then by the time I got into corporate, I was having trouble in the beginning, because I was just not of that ilk. I was not a corporate fella by any means, especially at that point in time in my life. So there are a lot of lessons I had to learn the hard way. That, like, this is how corporate is, this is how here is function, this is the working world, you know what I mean? I think if I had that experience a lot earlier, I would have been able to excel better at those positions. But I mean, even when I did get it, which was much later, I still feel like now I'm more well equipped, you know what I mean? So, I mean, everything in its time, and everything in its, you know, right and just time. That's all I would say. I mean, if you're meant to learn something at this time, you'll learn it now. If you're meant to learn it, you'll learn it then. It all depends on the part you take too now. So, and that's the thing. It have no right way, no best way, one way. It just have your way. Other people have their way, but at the end of the day, that's still their, you know what I'm saying? So, just do things your way, you understand? How if one brethren of yours figuring out something earlier than you, that is his way to study that. You understand? Focus on your way, run your race, and you're gonna be alright. You just have to trust in yourself.
Wise words from a past student. I feel like that's time. I feel like we covered everything we wanted to cover, right?
Oh, then tell me.
You have any questions for us?
It will be a real interesting question, boy. So given this discussion today, like, what are your main takeaways?
Well, adding your interest, adding your information with mine, knowledge, words. I feel like I'm more confident in my choice of going, choosing to do university, because even though it's not needed, it is my, is what I feel like is my journey. That's the route I'm going to take. So I'm a little more at peace with making a decision, because I'll tell you, the first year of Form 6, kind of questioning it. I was kind of questioning it, but I'm a little more sturdy and a little more firm on the decision, I feel like.
Fair. How about you?
I'm a geography guy. I'm not really I love football, watching. I love all sports. but playing, we can keep that in the backyard, out of public view. We don't need to see me get meg 4 times. Right. But I think that what you said about you have to make your own way, I think is very important for anybody in any field, because I also do photography and film, that's why we're here. So if that becomes like a side thing, or that becomes, the main thing, there are courses out there for that, and you had to it didn't have to be like your main focus. It had to be your main, you'd have to have all your energy in it. But as I said, you had to make your own way. So if that's gonna help you get somewhere, like financially or skills-wise, it could add to a job you wanna do. I think it's very important to just kind of follow your own path, because you'll feel pressured to apply for UE Med if you do science, but you're not really into med, because, not everybody likes med.
I could tell you that. I know for sure I wasn't going to do no med.
Yeah, so I think at the end of the day, I like that thing you said where you said you have to make your own way,
Because a lot of people just get caught up in studying what these people do and what they're doing. And that's not even just working world, like in just general, a lot of people just study, like they look on the phone, look on the Instagram or whatever, and they're seeing their friends doing this, they going out here, they going here, they have a high life, and you don't need to study that. Just study your own way, keep your own path forward, and you'll be good.
For sure. I am a living, breathing example that it have ways to do things. Like, it have possibilities, it have opportunities out there that outside of your scope of view of, I want to be a doctor, engineer, a lawyer. Like, it have things outside of that. Like, this entire career that I kind of have built for myself so far in media, I had no clue I was going to end up doing that. Even when I first started writing, I had no clue I could write until somebody was like, well, write something. And then I write something and people like it, and they was like, well, clearly he's a writer, write something else. Understand? Like, that's just how is work. And mind you, I find that talent after university. You know what I'm saying? So it have ways, it have possibilities, it have opportunities, but you just have to go out and do it. You know what I mean? I have a kind of personal law of saying yes to things that are new or different. So even how I end up here, like, just why not? Like, if you have the time and you have the resources, the ability to entertain it, to do it, to engage in it, why not do it? You know what I mean? Because you never know what could stem from that. And so many things in my life where I could give so many stories about random occurrences in places I wasn't supposed to be, didn't want to go, you know what I mean? And end up meeting somebody there, or something happened in that situation where something else was birthed from that experience. So,
yeah,
take a chance, believe in yourself, trust the process.
Amen. Right. So that's all we have time for today, guys. So we'll see you in the next one.
Thank you for making it out here and giving us your time.
No,
Appreciate
sure.
it.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
It was a pleasure to get back to the old white and blue, you know?
The old white one.
Seriously.
We cut it.
Definitely.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of the Rethink University podcast. We want to thank our goal sponsors Gill.T and Costa. Join us again for our future episodes. Please subscribe and share to spread the word, and remember, reframe your mind, redefine your path, and repurpose your skills.